Not all spiritual mentors are interested in God connection. That's a video that I posted a couple days ago. And this is a comment that I received. So I feel I should elaborate a little more because a lot can be said about that topic. So this person said, I just had this conversation yesterday with a friend who is going through the second layer of awakening. And I'll explain what I meant by that. She showed me a spiritual teacher that she had been following, and he instantly gave her dirty, self-serving vibes. I reminded her to stay grounded and to protect herself from that guy. I reminded her that the spiritual teachers know the spiritual playbook and will use it to fulfill their fleshly desires. So this is what I said specifically when this person refers to the second layer of awakening. When we go to the first layer of spiritual awakening, what you're seeing is, oh yes, I have these gifts, I have intuition, I have a soul. How do I work with this knowledge? And that's layer 1. Then there's going to be layer 2. Okay, I'm aware of all this. What is the purpose? Why am I awakening to these things? And then you're going to see how the ego may come in. And the ego is not necessarily the enemy, but it's going to invite you in to choose God. And again, Ryan, my husband, says this in all of his stuff. He uses the terminology that is being used in the Law of One material with service to others and service to self. And that works for a lot of people to look at it that way, but stuff is usually a lot more nuanced. And it's not synonymous with good and bad or in love and evil or something like that, not necessarily. It is simply being aware of what you are oriented towards when you become aware of the fact that you're on a spiritual journey. The important question that I have for you is, if you are on a spiritual journey, are you aware of what your goal is? Because a lot of people, like I said with the phase 1, is, oh, I have these intuitive abilities. There is more than what I thought was possible. That is phase 1. But the real thing, the real purpose of these gifts is realizing that you have them because God gave them to you. Because you were born in the image of God. You were born with the abilities to connect back in with God by going through the veil of forgetfulness, completely forgetting that you actually came here because you have this whole agreement with God, and then realizing, oh my God, I am a part of God. I am here as an emissary for God. I am here experiencing for God because a part of you is still at home with God. And I think everyone is on that journey. Even when we look at the Law of One terminology with service to self, service to others, I think that we can distinguish the difference between those two groups by seeing who is now teaching from a place of wanting to perhaps serve their own ego, purposely or completely subconsciously, and who is here to really do this because they love humanity, because they are so in tune with the God within them that they can feel the love that God has for humanity. And you can be somewhere in between even. You can be somewhere in between where it starts out as you really thinking it's fun. Oh, I have these gifts. I can do all these things. I can manifest all these things. And then realizing, oh, it's not necessarily making my life better. There's still something lacking. And then you will perhaps go through some kind of catalyst, an initiation, that is going to rip this veil off of your eyes and connect you in with the love of God. And then you're going to perhaps be like, wow, I know now why I'm here, why I'm doing this. So I wouldn't necessarily label it as one is evil, one is good, or whatever. I wouldn't do that. Because then we're still putting things in boxes, and everything originally comes from God, even the things that are unpleasant, uncomfortable, that you, through the lens of your human experience, label as evil. And of course, that doesn't mean that people who do bad things, that we should say, oh, you're not doing bad things, none of this is bad. That's not what I'm saying. But even those people are still connected to God, but they have chosen to fully separate themselves from that connection. It's like going, la 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 la, they're just not wanting to hear this. And that's why they are doing a lot of the spiritual stuff out of this. What drives them is, how can I serve myself? How can I make my life better? How can I feel better? How can I feel better? By offering these services. And that's why you may see certain individuals that are creating, there's some weird noises. I have to sometimes see what's happening around me. So you may bump into individuals online that you just feel weird about. You don't have a good feeling about these people. It may be because you're on a whole different journey than these people. There's some people, I'm not going to say any names, that don't like certain big content creators. They don't like their vibe. And there's tons of people that will follow their content, but it's because that person is in full resonance with the people that are at the same level of discovering where they are at on this whole awakening journey. And maybe they're going to have to go through a phase of seeing, oh, this is fun, this is nice, I can make my life better. How can I do this for me? To then maybe shift out of that and go to a phase of, okay, I love humanity. This is why I'm doing this. And so that may be why you don't resonate with somebody that has a very big platform and other people do. You may resonate with me because you're also feeling that you love God in the way that I love God. And this, I think maybe it's also because I had a near-death experience. I have felt the love of God through points in my life where I thought I was not going to survive. So there's been multiple times in my life where I have truly felt the hand of God reaching in and coming through and showing me how life can be when we connect back into God. So that may be where you're at, and that's why you like what I do. And then, yeah, so I think that's kind of what I wanted to say about that. So not all spiritual mentors are doing this because they are connecting with God, with Source, Creator, whatever word you like. Some of them may be doing this because they're like, oh, nice, I can hack my life. I can make life a lot more comfortable. And then they want to teach this to others, but in a way that's not going to form a threat to them. Like in the original video, that was based on a thread where a person did a mentorship with someone, and then the mentor got jealous of them after a while. And yeah, if you see that this is happening to you, then you can immediately activate your discernment and realize that probably that person was not receiving the unconditional support from God that they could have access to if they would just be open and receive it. Because that's it really. It's all illusion. The illusion of thinking that you have to fend for yourself, that you are here alone, you have to make it work, you have to siphon off of others. If you want to get in life what you need and want, that's what you do, and that's not the truth. It is illusion. Like the golden dragons always say, they're here to burn away illusion, to illuminate the truth. And sometimes that's going to happen through working with somebody like that. Yeah, and that's going to suck. And then you're going to see that, yeah, everything is resonance, everything is energy. You're going to be matched with people that have lessons for you, that are mirrors for you, so that you can be your own teacher in the experience. If you have questions about this, please put them in the comments. I do like answering these things from a nuanced perspective, as nuanced as I possibly can from my own human perspective. These are also the types of things that I'm going to be diving into in my Substack subscription. It is only $8 a month. It's all kinds of stuff like this, where we're diving in with Mother Mary. You can find all the information in the link in my bio. Any questions, put them in the comments. Just real quick before we leave, I had no idea this is what you're hearing, this thing. Where is it? Am I filming? Yep. So this thing, I walk past this little thing here every single day. There's a little sword in the stone. Do you see this? Now, look at what the name of this is. Oh, Merlin's Spring. No idea if you can read this, but we have a little slice of Avalon here with us. So put your questions in the comments. And if you've had any experiences, insights like this, I would love to hear it. Bye-bye.